Hello Yatens, this is Mr. Kikuchi speaking. This video will be introducing what sort of things you are expected to do in this task. So by now, hopefully in this design practical, you have made up your group or a pair. So you will be designing your task in that group or pair. What affects the rate is what you're trying to answer. That pretty much is the aim. Okay. Your task is to design an experiment which demonstrates how changing one variable affects the rate of reaction. So that's going to be your independent variable, something that you're changing. And you need to be able to obtain at least three numerical data points. Meaning you need to be able to measure in numbers so you can graph it. So that you can show your results in an effective way. That's what you're marked against as well. You need to make sure that your practical is completable in 40 minutes, including gathering equipment and also cleaning up. So the experiments, well, you should design that for like maybe 20 minutes or so. When you talk about the time, because you are working in pairs or groups, make sure your method can be done simultaneously. You don't have to wait for another person to finish. As long as you have asked for all the equipment and the materials needed, you are able to do so. Of course, there's a limit for it too. Alright. We should have done by now preliminary exercises, so you should have seen some experiments on each stations. I hope you gathered some ideas of what can be changed and what sort of differences you can get by changing one variable. So now your focus is part 2, designing and conducting experiment. This part is a group task, so make sure you talk to your group members. Now, you will be carefully considering which variable you need to control. Now, this can be things like temperature, things like concentration, or the presence or concentration of catalyst. You can change any of that, but just pick one. Independent variable needs to be just one thing that you are changing. You need to think about how you are changing that variable. So carefully consider that. Now here are some examples. Now a lot of people pick glow stick one, but I gotta say it's very difficult to measure the brightness and how fast the brightness changes. You need to think creatively. Some people choose to use an app. Some people choose to use an big box, putting it upside down so that people can see, you can observe the change, but you are changing the rate of observing the rate of reaction, so you need to be able to measure the change somehow. Okay. Elephant toothpaste with yeast. Sorry about that. Elephant toothpaste is traditionally done with lead iodide, but you will be using yeast instead. You will have much shorter amount of time with lead iodide, plus that's much more toxic and hard to get rid of. So you're using yeast if you're choosing to do elephant toothpaste. You can of course do anything other than this. These are just few examples. So you can be creative or you can find it, but you have to be fairly quick because you only have pretty much one lesson to choose and write the method. Okay. Once you have done that, write aim, hypothesis and variables. Okay. Materials and equipment needed. You will only also need the quantity of the materials, such as say 20 mils of hydrogen peroxide type of thing. But how many times you would need, you have to multiply by how much you are using. If it's the elephant toothpaste one, you'll be using probably 12% hydrogen peroxide, and you will be using 20 mils each on each sample. So minimum would be 3 times of that. triple of 20 mil, so yeah, 60 mil, but that's a minimum. But you can repeat it again to get better results. So yeah, make sure your method will allow you to obtain 3 reliable data points, so you can repeat it if you have more than say 10 minutes to do the whole thing again. Yeah, consider all these things while you're writing the method. Once you have done that, you have to produce one risk assessment per pair or group. If you go to this website, riskassess.com.au, and use this ID TCS space students all in capital and the password Tyndall83, you can get onto risk assessment for students. That's where you can type in everything by just following what says here. Now, this is what we follow. This is what Miss Condit-Drummond will follow to prepare anything that's enough or specified by you guys. We will assess it. We will also look at whether it's doable or not. If we think that it's too dangerous or too much chemicals are listed in there, you'll be contacted and you have to fix it. So it's better to do this part well before you submit it, okay? Otherwise, you might not be able to complete your method designing part and you will miss out mark on that, okay? Make sure you pick low, medium, or medium risk, otherwise you won't be able to conduct it. And we have to say that, yep, they look safe enough for you to do. So yeah, we both will be signing it, okay? Students won't be doing the signature part. Only Miss Condit-Drummond and I myself will be doing the signing part of it. Then you'll be conducting it hopefully by the end of the week that you are doing this risk assessment and method writing. But that's going to be the first part. Okay, so let's try doing that.